I have to mention. Let me take this opportunity. I sit in the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, as you know, and I also sit with the European Chamber of Commerce. The policy of the IATF to not allow children to go to school is appearing to be or emerging to be the biggest reason for capital flight, because foreigners and expats, uh, it's been a year and a half, no, and their children haven't been in a school, and it's not healthy for their mental well-being. And really, seriously, many of them are leaving in alarming numbers, together with capital and expansion plans. So I think that's another thing na maybe na overlook ng IATF.
Pero Andy, what's the solution there? I mean, that's an interesting problem to bring up. Pero what's a workable solution for everybody?
I would look at the Singaporean model and the Thai model, both of which are very good, and it mirrors the bubble as well. So the faculty and the staff of schools are 100% vaccinated, okay? And the children only traverse school home, the campus and home, and that is they've managed to keep to make it work, no? So not even in Singapore, not even hybrid, no, with remote. Talagang it's really face to face, because studies have shown nga that face to face learning is really a more effective means, especially for higher learning.
Yeah, but Andy, let me qualify that. I mean, you know, always when people compare to Singapore, for one, you know, that's a city-state with a very small population, and practically an island, isolated talaga. You know, you don't have, you know, they can control their borders. That's not a problem. That's one. And then Thailand, I mean, Bangkok had to shut down. We're only 2 weeks behind their own surge. Diba? I mean, when you say that was a success, I mean, I'd like to challenge that a bit. You look at Thailand; they're coming out of what has been the most miserable phase of their time in COVID, diba?
I qualify them as a success in relation to their education policy, where they have bubbles for campuses, especially high learning, Rob. So, and this has been in effect in Spain for Spain and France, no, since last year. So it's worked, and you can see their numbers have been manageable, at least in the EU.
But how does that work for school children who have not been vaccinated? Yes, granted na vaccinated na yung mga guro and yung staffers, pero that's only 1 out of 50 people in the classroom. And those other 50 people are probably going to be touching each other and, you know, fooling around and you know, doing things that children do.
Well, that's where the 2-week testing comes in. That's where the 2-week testing comes in. So it's a given that the majority of children, especially in elementary or tertiary level, are not vaccinated. So it has to be managed with regular testing, and that has been the functional model around the world. But I think all of us are parents here. I can't imagine how a child can be relegated at home for 18 months without mental ramifications.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about the testing, because in China, for example, the lockdown worked because they had massive testing.
They had massive testing. You're absolutely right, Abby.
There is mass testing. Would you suggest that we, for example, subsidize maybe testing? Kasi dito sa atin, we fake test because it's so expensive.
So expensive. I think public schools need to be subsidized, but the private ones, I think have the bandwidth, no, to be able to charge. Pero well, that's another issue, Amy. I don't know why our tests are just inordinately expensive.
Yeah.
They're down to PCR test is down to $12, 12 euros, no, in Europe. So I don't know why it costs in the thousands.
That's in the 800 or 900 pesos.
Yeah, or 900 pesos. It's just really inordinately expensive, and that's something that testing is part of the equation to fight this pandemic, and leading towards normalcy. So that has to be put part of the equation, I believe.